That's unsustainable, and we need to, as a Democrat, It shouldn't be unreasonable.
Murder us while calling us fucking bitches, then I think we need to be bigger fucking bitches. Fuck ICE.
Finally, everybody.
15th, when she decided to get online and start lecturing me about abuse cases, knew full well that her husband had been accused of molesting 2 young boys. She knew it. And friends, that's why she did it. She went online and decided to try to make herself into a victim in the whole 15-year-olds are also abuse victims, which people claimed that I disagreed with, which I would never disagree with. I have interviewed girls of that age who have been abused. I've interviewed girls who have grown from that age and tell me about the abuse when they were that age. In no world did I ever say that they weren't abuse victims. I was making a distinction between the legal term pedophile and who it encompasses. And that is it. And these fucking loons decided to run some campaign suggesting I didn't think it was a deal for a 15-year-old to get assaulted or abused. Melissa Gilbert jumped on board. And this is not the first.
incoming. We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone. Battle Royale.
Blue-eyed devil.
Be advised, gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
Go, go.
You're clear to engage all hostiles.
Inserting armor. Reloading mag. Switching mags.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Loading new mag. I broke their armor. Reloading mag. I'm hit. Switching mags. Incoming Semtex. Loading new mag. Inserting armor. Switching mags.
Check your map. I've marked a point containing enemy intel nearby. Capture it for information on the next gas spread. Get your squad to the safe zone. Leave no one behind. Enemies are dropping into the area.
I broke their armor. Inserting armor. Reloading mag. Switching mags. Reloading. Inserting armor. Loading new mag.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Y'all boys ain't got no mics, man?
Hostile marked. I broke their armor. Switching mags. Loot up for grabs. Reloading mag. I broke their armor. Loading new mag.
Hey, where was it at?
Reloading! Squad mates secure the intel. If you join them, you'll speed up capture. Well done, soldier. Check your map for the next gas spread location. You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Under fire. 5 down. Reloading mag. Inserting armor.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Jody, my truck needs to be worked on.
Yeah, I got a mic and freaking saw on my way to work.
Broke their armor.
need to
Shit.
survive to redeploy. The Gulag is your last chance. Fight to earn redeployment. Fight started. Be ready. You're next. Earn redeployment or die trying.
Broke their armor.
Enemy eliminated.
Loading new mag.
Redeployment.
Let's get to work. Reloading.
Enemy movement.
Enemy movement. Switching mags. I got tag. Some help.
You're going to buy us back, man.
Buy me back. I'm ready.
One rep. Somebody over there, too.
Buy me back. I'm ready. No one left but me.
Your squad pays for your release. Get ready to redeploy.
Thank you, sir.
Back in the AO.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Loading new mag. Reloading mag. I'm hit. Wait. Changing mags.
Fire sale, you can get us back cheap, man.
squad is getting you out of here. Stand by.
Make sure.
Let's get to work.
Head to the safe zone. Gas is
Taking
inbound.
fire. Inserting armor.
Enemy sniper!
Under fire.
Damn it, man.
Tally enemy.
Going up
Hostile
behind you,
mark.
Yellow.
Move to location. Tally enemy. Drop that armor. Took a round.
You will want to...
Saint Nick with the wrench in hand.
For the pizza?
1923.
Could I get 20 more?
Like right now?
Like right now?
It's gonna take a minute.
It's alright.
Yeah? Who's it for?
The homeless.
So you're paying for the homeless?
Yeah.
Can we help out?
You don't got to, man.
Oh, we'd love to help out.
Well, how about you make the pizzas and we'll figure it out after?
Okay.
Alright, thank you, sir.
What's your name?
Josh.
Nice to meet you, Josh. Tommy. This is my family's business. This is my daughter, Haley.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I came to the right place. Let's support a family business then. Thank you.
Yep, there you go. We'll help you bring them out. Where
Okay.
we going?
Pay first.
No, we're taking care of it.
No, you can't. You can't.
What do you mean?
Dude, there's 20 pizzas. I can't let you pay for all 20. Seriously.
This is for the homeless, right? You're not just taking this and going to have a party, right?
No.
Promise me?
I promise you.
Okay, well, hey, this is what we want to do.
Can I have a hug?
Sound good? All right. Father God, we want to thank you for giving us the honor of helping out people in the community that need help, that need you, Lord. And we want to ask you to come into their lives both by feeding them with these pizzas that we have, Lord, and then feeding them with your word and with your presence, Lord, because you are all where life life is found, Lord. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Love you, brother. There you go.
Thank you.
Here you go. You are welcome. God bless you. Thank you very much. Love you. Go.
They're both cheap.
The midnight hour, home with family.
Make you the richest person in the world, but I can make you the richest person in the apocalypse. And I can do that by showing you this right here. Now if you're thinking that just looks like a solar charger and a crappy Android, you're right, but it's not the phone itself that's valuable, it's what's on it. And it's really because of these apps. This one right here allows you to download an offline map of the entire world. This one right here allows you to download all of Wikipedia. And this one's probably the coolest because it allows you to download an offline version of the AI model DeepSeek R1, which means you could ask it, hey, I have 6 car batteries, a bunch of wire, and a solar panel. How do I use them to get electricity? Or whatever. Basically, you have all the tools that you would need to rebuild society from scratch. And you got a little friend to talk to along the way. Okay, to be honest, I cannot make you the richest.
Goes and says this, right? And let's see what it is. If somebody is soaping up your windows so that you can't see while a violent mob blocks your car and shouts murder threats at you, I think you are 100% justified in executing the soaper. The law might not agree, but that only means that the law needs to be changed. All of these I'm not touching you games need to be shut down. If someone is trying to get me killed, then it's my right to kill them first. That's God's law, and it matters more than man's. Man, I've been waiting on this for a while. That has to be a viewer? Is it a viewer? Is they follow me?
But here, check what we're going on today.
Got some cold drinks, got some cold Sprite, and some Weird Mountain Dew Crush. That's some pizza we finna throw to the ice facility in Nashville. A little pizza party. Make America great again. And then his boy here. Check what we got going on today. Got some cold drinks.
Think the cash hotel is going to run us down if we're transacting, in a few ribeye orders with another neighbor that has some other service. I'm actually very bullish on that because if we dump cash and everything gets booked through a digital system, then people will tap into every nickel that passes through your bank account and somebody's going to get them a piece of that. And if it's 1/100th of a cent, that's billions of dollars to somebody,
Elves off duty for the day.
That's right. Oh, okay.
I go first.
Alright. I'm not gonna look.
Christmas
Did you already look?
upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered.
I love you so much. Katie Van Eden. And I cherish all the time she been together. And good friends with all that.
Saint Nick with the wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride.
Were you married?
Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio.
How glorious all this is, Merriman. Do you ever think how lucky you are? I mean, imagine all the millions in this world born Chinese or Hindu or Catholic. And you were born an Englishman in a drug place.
You're in your 30th year?
I got really fucking pissed off at the Democrat Party because the maps, the minor attracted persons shit, before Trump came into office, we talked about it all the time. Now, why are we protecting? Why is the White House protecting pedophiles? Why is the White House protecting pedophiles? I just don't understand it, bro. I can't fucking get it through my head why we would protect pedophiles. The other thing is, this country has the biggest fucking problem with sex exploitation and sex trafficking in the world. We can talk about fucking Venezuela and Mexico and Ukraine and Russia and fucking China and waste, fraud, and abuse and fucking liberals this and Democrats this and Republicans, and we have a pedophile problem. We have a fucking pedophile problem in this country, and nobody's doing anything about it in government except you and Thomas Massey. What the fuck is going on? You know how I know this? Because is everybody in government a fucking pedophile now? What the fuck is happening?
Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load.
And told me I need to suck the kidney stone out. It's been 1 week. I think he's lying to me.
Oh my goodness. He is a legend.
The midnight hour, home with family so
It's been sitting here for 5 days, so it's from the original bottle, and I brought it so the press can have some. You can swig it all out of it. Remember the old days when we were kids, everybody shared a bottle? Today we tend not to do that, but if you'd like to, if you trust the person that you're drinking with, It's right here. It's yours. It's semi-fresh, 5-6 days old. Thank you. So we've been brought the milk here. It's been.
But so with these transportation companies, they're all linked. It's like what keeps the bike chain spinning, the transportation company. Because what these transportations do is these home healthcare companies are able to say, okay, well, our client needs to go to this healthcare provider to receive his.
So when somebody says post 9/11 that we've been at war, and it's called the war.
Airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015, 16.
And you know, here's the problem. This problem with bipartisan politics, right? They want to believe that their party is now doing the right thing when they're in charge, and it's just not true. But in fact, Loudermilk, when he was talking about the FBI agents in the crowd, he said, oh, so there were some FBI agents used for crowd control back then.
We noticed Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz buying stock in a company called Viasat, and it really caught our eye because it was the first time we'd seen her buy the stock. It was the first time we'd seen any member buy the stock.
It gets really interesting, and why Trump's Fed comments are just as important as the exposure of the Obama plot against Trump. Trump and his economic team aren't just exposing the inner workings of a decades-long coup against him. They are preparing the American people for a huge economic fight. They're bringing you into a public and heated discussion about the very viability of the Federal Reserve. Listen to Treasury Secretary.
He's a convicted felon or convicted rapist, he's a pedophile.
Trump attaqué au Golden Globe, c'est loin d'être un accident. Regardez comment ça fonctionne.
Mark, what's the pin?
Mark Ruffalo exécute un rôle. Il doit pousser le mouvement Be Good avec son pin. Un slogan simple et court, impossible à attaquer. C'est comme ça qu'une opération psychologique.
Tell me about the issue. Don't touch me. I want to touch it. Don't touch my God. Hey, I'm allowed to touch her.
No, you are not allowed to touch me. No, you are not.
The goddamn ground and rape her. Because I have rights.
So this man just said that he could rape me if he wanted to.
Look at your supreme.
I don't want. I'm gonna go get the officers because that's disgusting. No, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
No one touched you.
Yes, they did.
I know we did. We just got it back. Go to this lady's store.
Same neck with the wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride.
And I like how there's women defending him when he just said he could rape me. And there's women defending. I thought we believed women. I thought we supported women. That man just said he could rape me. Yes, he did. You're supposed to believe women. Why aren't you believing me? Man, why aren't you believing me? You're a woman. I'm a woman. Believe women. Believe women. So this guy is following me. Do not touch me. Do not come near me. Yeah, now you realize it. Do not come near me. Oh, we will put it on.
Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered.
I just picked up all of the copper fun that I am working with, and you might be wondering why I'm wearing a copper scrubby on my head. Our thoughts are not our own. I just being in the city for a few minutes the other day, or within a few minutes the other day, realized how much they are sending out. And of course, I've been trying to block it, so I've got my, there we go. My
truck is roaring
Did you know?
Oh my God. What happened to him?
Home with family so revered.
I'm wondering if you identify yourself.
Reindeer roasting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads.
DHS says at 6:50 p.m. Central Time tonight,
Quote, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022 in an attempt to evade arrest.
Your wife cheated on you when you had cancer?
Yeah, with one of my friends. I feel like I'm mentally fucked from trusting somebody.
How long were you guys married for?
8 years.
And then on the 8th year, she cheated on you.
When I had cancer, yeah.
What kind of cancer did you have?
I had classic Hodgkin's lymphoma, so my lymph nodes turned to cancer.
I have purged the land of thieves and traitors. I have made Wallachia strong. Let history judge me as it will. But while I live, no one shall threaten my people without paying in blood.
Running down the river, my phone's just going ding, ding, ding. I stopped to read the text messages. She said, hey. Then she sent, I found some goats on Facebook. And I replied with, absolutely not. She said, but they need a home. I said, we don't have a home for them. She said, why do you hate me? And I said, I don't hate you. We have nowhere to put a goat. Then she replied with, you're basically breaking up with me. And I replied with, that is not at all what I'm doing. We have nowhere for a goat to live. And then she said, I'll just go die. This happens often. Literally running down the river, my phone's just going ding, ding, ding. I stopped to read the text messages. She said, hey. Then she sent, I found some goats on Facebook. And I replied with, absolutely not. She said, but they need a home.
Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kill Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kill Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Yeah, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered.
Home pit, right out there.
I fucking hate Jesus.
He's a fictional character. You made him up in his head.
I planned to commit suicide. Life was just too heavy. It was just too much. I was an atheist who had been hurt by a lot of people. I didn't want to keep doing life anymore. And the day that I planned to commit suicide, I came home from school and I was having a nervous breakdown. I remember my grandma looking at me going, something's wrong with you and you have to go to church. There's no way I'm going to church. Those happy Christians that never have any problems. I never...
Telling me that a conservative man is gonna see me walking by and say, oh yeah, that's a man.
Yeah, for sure. I think even if I was fucking blind, I'd understand. Yeah. A little ridiculous.
You're telling me that a
Now there's something new at your grocery store. America's new sparkle and vitality drink that gives you an...
Way down in Louisiana.
Do you want to tour our podcast studio? It's inside of a coffee shop. Is that good? Can we go? Let's go inside of it. Please, into the, pardon the foliage side.
Country man. He does not begin. Every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered.
Virginia's to see him. This boy over there with the color on. That's Private Robert Tyler Jones. His grandfather.
Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day.
Tell me why when I told my daughter
Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way.
I wanted to ask you what you ate to yourself so badly at that frat party. Taco Bell.
What did you eat? What did you eat to get this figure?
Is it your position that a person can still be convicted of a crime with which they were never charged and with which the jury was never instructed, as long as the evidence is sufficient?
Yes, I think that is what the case law indicates, that if it's just, in this case, I'll just point out too that, I don't have the language of the statutes that you're citing in your hypothetical, but it was one word, might, and it was already...
Yeah, but that one word distinguishes it from a felony to a misdemeanor.
And it's made an extra sentence, 15 more months in the Department of Corrections that couldn't have been given had it been a misdemeanor conviction. It clearly affects a substantial right.
And I'll just say, I'm confused as to why the people are continuing to maintain that the proper remedy on this isn't to enter the conviction for the misdemeanor, because the indictment used the word might, and the jury was instructed on that, so that's what the verdict is. I am baffled as to the position that's being taken, that we can somehow overlook that and still enter the felony because the evidence that was presented at trial would have supported the felony. Are you still maintaining that position in front of us here today?
Yes, that is our position.
What case law supports that argument?
I'm sorry?
What case law supports that
I've
argument?
cited it in my brief. I don't have it right in front of me, but the case...
It's usually the omitted elements case law, right? But that's just where the element was omitted, and but the element that was omitted wasn't in dispute. Here, the jury was affirmatively misinstructed. It was instructed on the misdemeanor, and it found her guilty of that misdemeanor beyond a reasonable doubt. This isn't the omission of an element. This is a misinstructed jury. How can we correct that by saying, no, we'll just assume that because she could have also been convicted of the felony, we enter that even though we don't have a jury verdict? That's a...
I understand it's a difficult position for the people to be in. But
it's not a position you have to take.
But thank you. But I do believe that the omitted element language applies, because to me, I understand. I can hear from the way you're talking about it that seems more egregious to add this extra word than it is to omit an element. But to me, omitting an element is a pretty big deal, and the fact that can be.
Except in those cases, at least the person was originally charged with the elemental language. Here, never on the table.
That is true, but if I can just add, and again, it seems that I will not be able to convince you, but I just want to put...
The midnight hour, home with family so revered, home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered, home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right.
A woman right here, 7 months pregnant, and I believe the man gets no credit for the work he puts in. Yes, she carries the baby, and she pushes it out, but all the work I put in, loosening that thing up for the baby.
Andrew, that is so fucking rude. Are you kidding me?
In the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights on the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered.
All that shit's been taken away from us because they don't want you believing in God. Phil, we gotta get some air. Come on.
And probably will be alright. Saint Nick with the wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play.
No offense,
Christmas lights on the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is rolling down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and With the wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not slave this year. Needs to make it home by night. That's my area. I'm a geologist. Carol's playing on the radio. Yeah, you're the geniuses. Snowflakes fall within the light.
Greatest threat to our clean water.
Santa breathing heavy sighs.
Well, that's
knows he's got to make it right.
We do need new sources of energy, and someone's got to buy them instead of sleeping till 11 and
Sweating next in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family, so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load.
Have to be doing something that's ridiculously hard at all times. You cannot have an easy job. And even when that hard job gets easy because you get good at it, you're going to lose the ability to try hard. So you need to have something that's constantly challenging. 2, you have to be outside. Have to be. You cannot work inside long term. You can do part of your day in it or a day or 2 a week. Don't try to go sit inside long term for a career. You're going to lose your marbles. Number 3, you have to have structure and routine, and you're going to hate it. There's a saying, autistic people love routine and it's really bad for them. ADHD people hate routine and it's really good for them. You need accountability to show up somewhere every single day, and it needs to be repetitive. You can't do the same things every day. That's another thing. You cannot do the same work every day. You're going to lose it. But you have to have structure. If you don't have that structure, you're going to get in trouble. You have
to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with the wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights on the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Hell, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered.
As we know from Gallant, there was Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. After a stand-down order was apparently given, a soldier testified before the Knesset and was told they received a very unusual order not to go to the border wall. They were told this an hour before the wall was breached. They were told not to go to the border wall till after 9 a.m. And then, as we know from Gallant, there was a Hannibal directive that was also issued, and 800 civilians were killed,
And we don't know how many of them were actually killed by Israel, by the...
The midnight hour, home with family so revered, home with family so revered.
IDF, but if you look at the damage that was done, if you look at the cars that are burned out, the houses that are bombed, then you see that there was no way that this could happen without the Israeli military. So again, October 7th was a disaster, but it wasn't strictly undertaken by Hamas. There was obviously some sort of massive intelligence failure, which is hard to believe since it has the most sophisticated intelligence apparatuses in the world and the most sophisticated border on Earth, and yet this happened. So, I mean, look, I'm not going to adjudicate the history of the Israel or the Middle East. That's not the real topic here. The topic is just how the United States has been enlisted in to be complicit. Okay, we didn't participate in the other genocides that you mentioned, but we are definitely being extorted to pay for this one. And this one is a genocide. It's not only, you know, these organizations that I mentioned, several organizations, but it's not Human Rights Watch is another. I mean, there's a whole slew of organizations. So it's almost unanimous that this happened. But it is never enough for Zionists because they have a way of making reality disappear, gaslighting, using doublespeak, Hasbara, and sophistry. That is all they use. When you come up with facts, they have this wiggle way of getting out of them and saying, well, what about the other genocides? So whataboutism is really prevalent here. I'm opposed to all genocide, and incidentally, I'm opposed to sending any single person to a concentration camp. And yet we have over 300 children in Israeli prisons who are abused daily, okay, by the IDF. In fact, they had a protest for the right to rape, as it's been called, because they used a broomstick to rape a guy in the anus. And this was, you even had Gallant going and defending this.
Number one thing that's being pushed on our kids, and that is white guilt. And I want to be very clear. If you are a teacher in Florida pushing white guilt, you will not be a teacher in Florida when I am governor. We are sick and tired of left-wing black lesbian teachers sitting there telling the white kids to apologize to the black kids, and also equally disgraceful, telling the black kids that there's something somehow wrong with them. No, Owen. As Christians...
Your picture perfect blue, sunbathing on the moon, stars shining as you
Nick with the wrench in hand, fixing up his
that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge.
Not slay this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing
Charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
My little girl is severely disabled, can't walk and can't talk. So what the fuck is God and Jesus going to help me out? Explain. You're sitting here saying all this bullshit. Now fucking explain to me how they're gonna help me out. My little girl's dying, right? What the fuck? See your Bible, I'll fucking kick you out the road. Stay back. Don't do anything. You're gonna do bread. You're gonna do fucking bread. Oh, shut up.
So I want to tell you something. No, you're completely fine to ask me. No.
I haven't been rude.
It's fine, you haven't been rude. Come closer. What's your name?
Michael.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
Lovely.
I understand.
You please regret like all this bullshit. My little girl is severely disabled through the NHS and she can't speak. say, I love you, Daddy.
No. He is going to create a new heaven and a new earth, where, according to Revelation 21 verse 4, he will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying.
She's got 2 months to live.
I understand. Just please hear what I'm saying. Because you've asked a question. Give us the response. I understand.
Tell him
You're completely fine. You're completely fine. I just want you to receive this message, okay?
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
It says he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Jesus, on the cross, said it is finished. The debt has been paid for. So now, when someone puts their faith in Jesus, this is what that person will receive. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this?
Yeah.
So what Jesus wants you to know right now, and the way that Jesus is helping, is Jesus to say, believe in me, because even if you die, you won't remain dead, but you will be raised up with me in the new heavens and the new earth which he will create, where there's no weeping, no tears, no pain, no mourning.
Teaspoon of this spice was shown to not only prevent dementia but also reverse dementia in 2 different research projects. And oh, by the way, in another research project, it was shown to help with Parkinson's disease as well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Quinn Steele. I'm a brain and nervous system specialist, and I help people just like you improve their health by improving their brain function. What is the spice? Ginger. Ginger, we're talking 800 milligrams, which is an eighth of a teaspoon. This is the reason.
The original machine had a base plate of pre-famulated amulite, surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing, in such a way that the 2 spurting bearings were in a direct line with a panometric fan. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented.
The real story that they're trying to hide about USAID is that it was used, taxpayer dollars, to fund regime change in the United States, and Donald Trump was their victim. Now, this is going to be a multi-part series because they need to stay under 3 minutes. You're going to have to engage. You're going to have to comment. You're going to have to like. You're going to have to repost this video to get past the shadow banning that this will experience. And this is a warning to the TikTok censors and moderators. If you censor this video based on misinformation, this video will go to the U.S. Department of Justice, the Civil Rights Division, under Harmeet Dillon and Leo Terrell for violating my First Amendment rights to report this information that is verifiable. And your moderators, if they don't verify it, that's not my fault. The Russia collusion scandal, the Spygate scandal, the Ukraine impeachment scandal are all the same people. They're all the same players. And Donald Trump, through the virtue of his inspector generals, as a result of the Russia collusion hoax and the Ukraine impeachment hoax and the reports that they have put out, they know who the players are, but they did not have the connections to who was funding it. USAID is where it was funded, and now they have it, which is why they are freaking out like they are freaking out. This is no longer just a scandal of connected DC people enriching their friends, their families, and the people that share the same ideology as them. This is a scandal of outright treason funded by U.S. taxpayers and regime change, and Donald Trump is who they tried.
That's a bad word. I don't know that word. That's not that word, Mommy. Yes, it is. No, it's a fucking ass. Don't laugh. That's a bad word. I told you that's not a bad word. Yes, it is. What is it? That's a bad word.
Want to see something cool? This is a regular sized chicken egg from a hen that's been laying for over a year. We set this size in the incubator. This is an egg from a pullet who's been laying for 3 months. It's getting bigger, but still too small for us to put in the incubator. This is the size of a very first egg that was laid by one of our hens just yesterday. Far too small to put into the incubator, still considered a pullet, but interesting size difference. And this, here's these 3 sizes, is a fairy egg on top. A fairy egg can happen with any size breed, standard or, in this case, from our Cerama, our smallest size birds. They don't lay eggs this small. They lay eggs about half the size of this, and that's their normal sized egg. If I were to crack open a fairy egg from any of our breeds, it would be mostly white inside with a little bit of a wisp, a hint of a yolk. And last, but certainly not least, is this really cool egg that was laid by one of our moss eggers. It looks like a planet. This egg is the wrong shape for me to put in the incubator because it's too torpedo shaped. If I were to put this in the incubator and incubate it, the chicken side would have all sorts of hip issues. So we eat these eggs. But the thing that I really want to highlight about this egg, other than these cool stripes, is that when it was collected just seconds after it was laid, and the bloom wasn't fully dry on the egg, and so a fingerprint was left behind, imprinted on that bloom of the egg. Every egg laid by a chicken has a protective bloom put over the top of it. It takes about 10-15 seconds for it to dry once it's out in the regular air. In this case, it was collected right away. It was this perfect moment, and a fingerprint was left behind. How cool is that? There's so much beauty of color, shape, and biodiversity within the chicken world. Thanks for checking it out with me.
All Father, I ask that you guide my thoughts to places of meaningful wisdom, health, and
Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the deck. Guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is rolling down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double. Christmas sweating eggs in his beard. Every day is singing out. Home with family so revered. Something whispers in my ear and says, dear resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash. Guiding him through the frosty road. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every road. Santa's working on the double. Christmas sweating eggs in his beard.
What time it is, my beautiful princess?
It's time to bring about God real quick.
Okay.
God's an unfailing God. He's an old-time God.
Yes.
He's a God of truth. He's a forgiving God. He's Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end.
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone,
resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding you.
Here's some bullets.
Starting to get there. Did he get?
Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double. Fixing up his big old line. This year needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio. Snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting.
Absolutely nothing productive today. But who gives a shit? You're just a weird little...
Santa's got the tools in hand.
But I made more money than I had ever made acting, for sure.
Wow.
By far.
Wow.
And it wasn't just because I got lucky with one stock that went to the roof. And I had my 3 screens, and I had all my graphs, and I had 4 tabs per screen. And you look at stochastics, and you look at this type of thing, and I go, I don't know what this means. What does that mean? Support and resistance, and I don't understand. And how does it turn around, and why does it turn around? And all this stuff that's super boring to talk about because nobody's interested in it like I am, And then on top of it, eventually I'm doing Wall Street too, and I'm talking to all these billionaires, and I have all that knowledge. So then I have, this ability to be able to talk to them about finances and discipline and fear and greed and all this kind of stuff. It was an interesting thing for me to get into, and then I ended up, when I was really on it, which I'm not now. I'm a long-term trader now. I don't pretend to day trade, because if you do that, you have to be up at 4:30 every morning, and you have to know your basket, and you have done your due diligence for what you're trading for that day and the night before. And I was very disciplined in breaths of upward momentum, fairly solid stocks. So I'd get it when it would go down and sell it when it would go up. I'd get it when it would go down and sell it when it would go up.
No God ain't real, okay? If there was a God, there'd be a lightning strike in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, this is very concerning.
Fixing up his big old ride. My truck got slave this year. Needs to make it home by night. Guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load.
No. Neither do it. Speed up. Back out.
Home with family so revered. Deer resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the keys in hand. That's the way you have to play. Christmas lights upon the dash. Guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is rolling down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double. This is when it's the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered.
The trooper on the left pulls over the retired cop on the right, and what started as a very routine traffic stop quickly turned into a chain of shocking events that neither of them expected.
Yeah, they got their whole, wait, that document is their whole battle, like their battle plan out here, I guess. They got a hold of ICE's entire game plan for Minneapolis, they said in the packet. That's what Status Quo is reading. Okay, so that's what Status Quo might have been reading on their stream then. So, all right.
I've recovered a Bible thought to be 1,000 years old. The holy book which was found in the central Turkish city of Tokat.
Now, this is quite a discovery. Fragments of a biblical scroll, along with other relics, have been found in desert caves in Israel.
Turkish authorities have confirmed that an ancient Bible thought to be 1,500 years old.
The ancient scriptures and Bibles that represent the eras of the Bible are a highly essential part of history and something that millions of people base their lives on. The majority of these historical and religious works have been lost at various points in time throughout history, mainly due to war. Many of them contained crucial information that has been forgotten or left in the past and is now concealed from Christian society. This is why such objects are highly valuable, especially on the black market, where many of them can be found or stolen from sacred locations. However, none of them are quite as special as this antique Bible. Where does it originate from? What hidden truths about the beginnings of Jesus were covered up? In this video, we bring you an ancient Bible that dates back 1,000 years and contains an image of Jesus that will blow your mind. In 2015, a groundbreaking discovery was made in the Turkish city of Tokat, which has a population of more than 100,000 people, a little town in which people engaged in the illegal trade of historic and ancient things in order to later sell them on the black market. During an operation, law enforcement officers were able to save this Bible from the hands of smugglers, which prevented those criminals from destroying other groundbreaking discoveries for investigators all around the world. Right next to the Bible, the authorities discover a massive collection of valuable jewelry as well as over 50 old coins. More than $5 billion are thrown away each year as a direct result of the black market for ancient artifacts. This Bible is not your average edition. Rather, it is one of the very first ever produced. It dates back between 101 AD and 200 AD. It is still unclear where this Bible came from or who penned it, according to the investigators. After hundreds of years of dust building up, the cover was severely destroyed by smugglers. They never provided the ancient treasures with an appropriate setting to care for them, despite the fact that these objects are hard to come by and are fragile. Therefore, once the artifacts have been salvaged, they are in risk of being damaged if they are not properly cared for at a museum. Despite being written in a language that is over 2,000 years old, the Bible nevertheless contains a feature that is instantly recognized to every Christian: a collection of illustrations created with gold leaf, a method that has survived for many years and within which researchers have discovered the remains of various historical personalities. There is a perfect representation of Jesus' face and various illustrations of Mary with descriptions written in Assyrian. Assyrian is a dialect of Akkadian, a Semitic language spoken in Mesopotamia that is now extinct. This ancient dialect has survived for almost 2,500 years, but has been long forgotten for around 2,000 years. Despite being robbed and smuggled, the Bible only has 50 pages that are in decent shape. The images on it are pure artwork. No one knows who created them, but they must have been created by a well-known artist at the time because they are not plain illustrations but magnificent works of art. Tokat is notorious for smuggling priceless relics of human history. Authorities discovered the priceless artwork Orphan Man standing by Vincent van Gogh in a car trunk in a crayon lithograph with scraping on tan woven paper valued at approximately 500,000 euros. Many countries had signed bilateral treaties in order to combat the lucrative smugglers' market. Egypt and Italy announced an agreement in 2008 to trace smuggled antiquities, and it has recovered over 195 objects and 21,660 coins stolen in the black market. Several operations around Tokat's center helped police recover the antique Bible. The authorities arrested 10 people after learning that 3 suspects were selling historical relics. Because of how obvious it was that these criminals were, there is a possibility that the authorities may never have been able to recover the Bible if...
Needs to hear this, but if you are born with a penis, you're a man. If you're born with a vagina, you're a woman. And the fact
guiding him through frosty roads.
Selling your online, and do you think the money that you make from that translates to any sort of intelligence or skill?
I have a degree.
A degree in what?
Philosophy. I could go to grad school and become a lawyer if I wanted.
That's a good point. You could have become a very well-respected lawyer, had a good career. What do you think your kids are going to think when they said, oh, my mom had 2 options? They could have been a philosopher and a lawyer who made a lot of money, but they decided to be on online for 2 years, and then when they got ugly, now nobody wants to hire them anymore because they ruined their name and their reputation. That selling your online, and do you think the money that you make
in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kale Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride.
Is that person running? Are you okay? Is somebody chasing you? You're running on purpose? 7 in the morning.
Hey, I'm Elmer, and welcome back to Channel 109 News.
Channel 109 News Time!
Dan Bongino is currently crashing out and blocking everyone criticizing him on the Epstein files. Now over to Elbro live on the scene.
Dan, why did you block me on Twitter and call me a black pill? Is it because I'm black?
Anything go to where it first started. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. Sound becomes light. In the original language from which all other languages in this universe come from, called An-Azimua, there is a 9-minute prayer which, if utilized consistently, can literally shift you into your highest spiritual timeline and destiny. In fact, one time I sent this prayer to a dear sister, and she chanted it every single day for 30 days in a row. And she texted me and she said, what is this frequency? Everything in her life that was out of alignment literally got up and left and could not be in that frequency. It's a pre-fall, pre-distortion, the original frequency of source.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
What are you doing here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here?
What are you doing here?
I catfished you on Tinder, that's what I'm doing here. I rented out an Airbnb and I catfished you on Tinder. You thought you were here to meet Mike, but you're not. You're here to meet me. And you're also gonna go home and pack your shit as soon as we're done with this. Why are you looking like you're, how am I a psycho? You're gonna gaslight me taking the kids. I'm taking you to court. I'm taking this video to court. Trust me, you're never gonna see your kids again.
Morning, Dr. Harper.
Morning.
Guess you're kind of surprised to see me, huh?
Yeah, shocked.
Well, I hope you know it is not the kind of thing I usually do.
It's really none of my business.
But Charlie is so sweet and special.
Yep, he's a treasure.
Yeah, and this works out well for you.
Really? How do you figure?
Since your car is still in the shop, we can carpool to and from work.
I see. So you'll be coming back?
Oh, yeah. Charlie asked me to stay the weekend.
No kidding.
Yeah, first. We really made a connection. And it is not just physical.
Again, none of my business.
It is like I have known him all my life.
I know the feeling. You get over it.
Hey, baby.
Sorry, Dr. Harper.
That's okay. I wasn't even listening.
I'm gonna take a shower. Hit the road in about 20 minutes.
It's okay. 20 minutes is fine.
Great.
Ellen, you know me as a cynical man, but in just one night, that little pixie has melted this cold, lonely heart. You may not believe me, but there is something going on here, and I really want to thank you for bringing her into my life.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, gotta hit the crapper.
You must be Judith.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
I'm Melissa, Dr. Harper's receptionist. We talk on the phone all the time.
Oh, right, Melissa. It's so nice to finally meet you. Alan!
Oh, hey, hi, Judith. This is Melissa, Judith. It's not what it looks like. Charlie's doing her, not me. Thanks, I've got this.
Your brother and your receptionist?
I'm not thrilled about this either, but what can I do?
You could think about the effect these shenanigans have on your adolescent son.
Okay, you know what, Judith? I have enough problems. If you're not comfortable leaving Jake here for the weekend, then take him home.
Nice try, Alan.
Morning, Dr. Harper.
Morning.
Guess you're kind of surprised to see me, huh?
Yeah, shocked.
Yes. Somebody called you. That's a suspicious person. Where parked in a residential neighborhood? Parked in a public street. Is there a reason why you're there? Just parked in a public street, minding my business. That's all. Do you live around here? Not answering any questions. Okay. Do you need any service from us? No, but if I do, I'll make sure I give you guys a call. Okay. All right, yeah, I guess somebody saw you, asked what was going on, you moved your vehicle and parked in front of somebody else's house. Just so you know, you're in front of somebody's mailbox, so if you could just move away from the mailbox because you actually can't block people's mailbox. I'm not blocking it. Personal access there, I'll just move back. I'm not going to leave my car. I'm going to stay right inside the car. You're just going to stay inside? I'm going to move. I'm not going to block your mailbox. Do you want to identify yourself? According to law, I don't have to. No, I'm asking. Do you want to identify yourself? You don't. Okay. All right, any other questions? questions or concerns from us? Questions or concerns. Okay. All right. You have a good day, sir.
They send me on break, I go fishing on my break. All right, y'all. We back at it again. They send me on break, I go fishing on my break. We gonna see what we get out here.
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm Muslim.
Really?
Yeah.
You like? Are you like one of those Allah Akbar people?
What is?
Oh my god, it's so cold outside. Please get me back in my car. Thank you for coming on such short notice.
I got you, no problem. Let me park right over here. I know, I got you. Give me 1 second. She doesn't move out the road.
Very nice man. Really love it.
Hello, thank you very much. How you doing? This is your car?
Such an idiot. It's a new year. I really lost my key.
Don't worry about it. We'll take good care of
Great
you.
to start off the year.
It happens. You know, it's a new year, new key, you know? So, let me take a quick look really quick. So you're trying to hold the doors, right? Okay. And nothing inside? Of course.
It's very cold. Can I go inside of your van and just relax?
Sure. So I got a spot over there for the customers. Water right behind you, whatever you need, okay? Yeah, go for it. No problem. All right. Oh, yeah, go for it. Here you go. There you go.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
You're welcome. Let me see what I can do.
Elves off duty for the day.
Fantastic.
Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home.
Try to start it real quick. Let's see.
Christmas lights on the dash.
You just got here.
I don't know. I guess it's... Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Anytime.
As he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Chaos Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Yeah, Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered.
Is that truck finished in there? Don't have to help. Chapman.
Saint Nick with the wrench in hand,
to a mansion and at the best time she'll tell you how much she loves you. And then the next day when she's mad at you, she will literally say verbatim, you never give me anything. You don't take care of me. You reject me. I'm not looked after. She'll forget 12 hours before where she had the world. Because women only care about how they feel. They don't even think. They just feel. You can take a woman on a private jet to a mansion.
You're doing great. What can I help you with today?
If we put a balloon in the vacuum chamber, what happens?
Great question. When you put a balloon in a vacuum chamber, the air pressure outside the balloon drops significantly because the air pressure inside the balloon stays the same. The higher internal pressure pushes the balloon to expand. Eventually, if the vacuum is strong enough, the balloon can expand so much that it pops.
And if we put the Earth in a vacuum chamber, what happens?
That's a pretty fascinating thought experiment. If we put the entire Earth into a vacuum chamber, the atmosphere would rapidly escape into the vacuum, leaving the Earth essentially without an atmosphere. Over time, the lack of atmospheric pressure would cause the oceans to boil and the surface to become extremely cold and uninhabitable. Plus, any life forms would struggle to survive without that protective atmosphere. It's definitely a dramatic scenario.
And is Earth in a vacuum? Yes or no?
In a way, no. Earth isn't in a vacuum. We have an atmosphere surrounding us and it's full of air and gases. But in outer space, beyond our atmosphere, that's where you get a vacuum. So Earth itself is surrounded by a layer of air, and we're definitely not in a vacuum here on the surface.
But outside of the atmos, we have a vacuum.
Exactly, that's right. Once you go past the Kármán line, which is about 100 kilometers, 62 miles above sea level, you're definitely in the vacuum space. That's where the air pressure is almost zero, and it's a completely different environment compared to what we experience on Earth.
And what happens if you put Earth in a vacuum again? Just to recap.
Sure, if we somehow place the entire Earth in a vacuum, the atmosphere would quickly escape, leading to the loss of air, oceans would start boiling away, and the planet would become extremely cold and inhospitable. Basically, it would be a catastrophic and unlivable scenario.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to Flat Earth.
And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
Saint Nick with the wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light.
Designed to do just that. So Republican Tennessee Senator Marshall Blackburn has introduced this new bill. It's called the Fraud Accountability Act. What it would do is change U.S. law to allow any naturalized American.
Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered.
Watched the rape, murder, and slaughter in the barn. We've watched a government who is not only silent but complicit. They're paying people to be here. They are giving billions to other countries, to house other countries, to feed, to pay their bills, all while the Irish people are on the ones that are struggling in their homes, paying all these taxes that
as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn. Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash.
Not only do we not make something like this anymore, I'd be hard-pressed to see them being able to have the capability of replicating this. And again, all made over 200 years ago, with far less advanced tools and means and materials.
On social media right now, Republican or Democrat?
And neither. Okay, these both parties are two sides of the same coin. Whether it's Hakeem Jeffries or Mike Johnson, they're both Zionists and they both need to be voted out. Every single one of these congressmen, Republican or Democrat, are all bought by Zionist stooges, and we need to get them out.
Jose Vega, thank you. Jose Vega.
Saint Nick with the wrench in hand.
Excited than Colorado's own Wyndham Clark, who will get to play his time pro golf, will be back in Colorado in nearly 2 decades. And nobody is more excited than Colorado's own Wyndham Clark, who will get to play.
You'll realize you've already lived through some of the best days of your life, and you didn't even know it at the time. You were too busy chasing what's next, busy worrying about what's missing, thinking happiness was something.
Repost the hell out of this if you agree with this statement. The problem this country has is we have too many self-serving pricks who would rather let this country burn to the ground than ever admit they were wrong about anything. Let's look at this lady that got shot by the ICE officer. Where was your fucking bleeding heart years ago when you, your parents, or your grandparents could have changed the immigration laws where people could...
There's now a criminal investigation into Becca Good, who, by the way, is the false wife of Renee Good, because Julie Kelly's been out there scrubbing all of the records. They never got legally married, at least in any of the states that she's checked, and she's checked.
Money banks and my own money pays when the sun shines bright on look.
Here for a little while to do something that makes you smile. Whatever it is, you better get to it. Only here for
just kidnapped, and in some cases
centuries, a powerful empire rose between the Black Sea and the Caspian. A trade hub, a military force, and a political one.
Oh, you got some good stuff. Want me to take the chicken?
Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is rolling down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double.
I was stationed in Iraq. I used to have to go into a lot of different rooms that had a lot of computers and screens to do a lot of different things for whatever reason that we were in there. One time, I went into a room that had, like, this guy was sitting there with 3 computer screens, and on one of his computer screens, there was a map. And the map was not a map of the Earth. It looked like a map of the Earth, but it caught my attention because when I looked at it, it just like looked the wrong shape, right? So I started looking at it and I was like, the Earth was like in the middle and there was shit outside of it. Now this was a room that that map would literally not have been in. Like there was no way that this map, I've told this story on my TikTok before, there's no way that this map was in this room. Like, it wasn't real. There was no, these computers were not allowed to have people's cute little backgrounds and shit on them. And this wasn't a cute little background. It was a map that was being monitored. Anyway, he was doing something. I was waiting for him to do something. He notices me just completely fucking lost in this map because my bladders were gassed. I was realizing that this was a map. And in the middle, I saw all of the countries of the world that we know, and there was shit on the outside. So I'm looking, right? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because it said shit that why does that say Asgard, right? Anyway, so I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck, right? And he looks at me and just very matter of fact, it was like, no one's gonna believe you. And I just like, damn it, no. Anyway, I think about that a lot.
Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Kel Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kel Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kel Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Kel Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kel Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kel Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour. Home with family so revered. Reindeer resting elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Carol Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered.
I've got like 4 or 5 drivers from Stevens, but I wanted to do the individual Stevens driver and then the name.
Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beer.
Something that I'm not quite understanding. Now, if somebody's here illegal, that's against the law. What are they asking y'all to do, to break the law? Ramirez, you got black people in that district. When you gonna ever stand up for them? They living in poverty, poor education. What are you saying? You can't even look me in my face. What are you saying? You don't care about them. And here go 8 black faces. We the majority, and you sitting here talking about a small majority, a small voting bloc. What are you saying? Forget the biggest voting bloc that y'all supposed to represent. And listen to me, my biggest threat is not ICE. My biggest threat is the local police, the sheriff, the state troopers. It wasn't long ago that the state troopers rolled a boy down on the ATV and shot him dead. Which one of y'all stood up for us then? Kim Word worthy. Always overcharging. In fact, she got an interrogating unit that says after 5, 10, 30 years, oh, we made a mistake, let them go. Y'all don't say one ugly word about that. So what are we doing here?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Romano, did you prosecute anyone related to January 6th for engaging in an insurrection?
No, Congresswoman.
I didn't think so. So, Mr. Raskin's statement that someone was a convicted insurrectionist is actually inaccurate. Isn't that correct?
I wouldn't say it's inaccurate. I will.
Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on
convicted insurrectionist.
She wasn't a convicted insurrectionist, was she?
The gentleman yield?
No, I will not. Mr. Romano.
You accept seditious conspiracy as insurrection?
I will reclaim my time. Mr. Romano, did you prosecute anyone for engaging in an insurrection related to January 6th?
For the crime of
You did not, did you? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Romano, did you prosecute anyone related to January 6th for engagement?
Which category of people of all time can't?
The type of woman you'd see driving a Subaru.
In news, we have a statement from the U.S. Secret Service that we've just obtained, hot off the press. This is attributable to U.S. Secret Service Deputy Director Matthew Quinn. I'm going to read this to you.
Cup to see if you had enough. You looked in mine to check if I had more than you. That difference says everything. We are not the same. I looked in your cup to see if you had enough. You looked in mine to check if I had more than you. That difference says everything. We are not the same.
I want to show you guys how innovative I am to boost my ego. This is my homemade air purifier. I used to have like the actual air purifiers, like those cylindrical ones, but first of all, it was very expensive. Second of all, finding the refills for inside of it, it was just so much work to have to order them online because there's only certain ones that could fit. All this is a box fan. It was probably less than $20. Some tape, and then one of these filters that you actually put like in the airways of a house. I forget what that's called.
As he's counting every load. Santa's working on the double. Grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight.
I used to have like the actual air purifier.
Home with family so revered. Home with family so revered.
Boost my ego. This is my homemade air purifier. I used to have like the actual air purifiers, like those cylindrical ones, but first of all, it was very expensive. Second of all, finding the refills for inside of it, it was just so much work to have to order them online because there's only certain ones that could fit. All this is a box fan. It was probably less than $20. Some tape, and then one of these filters that you actually put like in the airways of a house. I forget what that's called. Just tape that bad boy on, and then I'm pretty sure this lasts longer than those little ones anyways, because it's so much bigger, and there's like a little guide on here somewhere. But yes, it definitely works, and when I take this off, I'm not going to do it now because this is relatively new. You can see it fills with dust and hair. There's also, they don't have the specifications on here, but this one is specifically, it's like made to catch allergens. I have allergies, not necessarily to dogs, but like pollen in the summer and stuff. And I have noticed a difference in my allergies ever since using this.
In the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kill Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Kale Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kale Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Kale Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs, knows he's got to make it right. Kale Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Reindeer resting in the barn, elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand, wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Chaos Santa's working on the double, grease and sweat mixed in his beard. Hopes to beat the midnight hour, home with family so revered. Home with family so revered. Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light.
Lawrence, are we gonna listen to the whole song?
Absolutely.
Oh, I love the song. Okay, I'm ready. This is my time to
Riding around the hood, sitting in this yak, niggas about to get blown with the Mac.
This is not what I thought it was. Lawrence,
How to not get fucked up by the police, okay, niggas? You get stopped. Hands on the fucking steering wheel. Roll your window down. Hello, officer, how are you doing today? Hey, license registration, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna reach for it to my back right pocket. I'm gonna use my right hand to go for it. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. May I ask why I'm being stopped today? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. Here's my stuff. I'll keep my hands here for you. And, you know, I wanna make sure that you feel safe. Okay. And then if you have a gun, you tell them immediately, hey, just so you know, I do have a weapon on me. It's over here. I won't reach for anything like that. If you do have a weapon on you. You tell them that as soon as you walk up to the thing. They go back, they check your shit. He's gonna come back. Hey, I'm just gonna give you a warning because you were being polite, you were being nice. Thank you so much, officer, I appreciate that. And then done. You live your life. You don't get shot. You don't fucking go to jail. But niggas wanna be fucking chimps. Hey, officer, what you pulled me over for? Huh? Is it because I'm black? Hey, Holmes, is it because I'm Mexican?
Esteemed colleague and chairman of the new task force, Congresswoman Luna, for her remarks.
thank you, Chairman Comer. When our founding fathers stood against tyranny, they did not merely oppose taxes. They defended the sacred idea of individual sovereignty. They declared that no government, agency, or title could infringe upon the freedoms of speech, religion, thought, and the pursuit of truth. For too long, the American spirit has been dimmed by a veil of secrecy, by a government that has grown too comfortable in the shadows, denying us the transparency we...
Oh, what do you got?
I have paperwork.
Oh boy, what do you got?
I have paperwork from these vehicles with full FEI, first, last names, phone numbers, emails, addresses.
Oh wow.
It has
Let me
how
see,
they
let me see.
it has where they take.
Hold it open. So this is the. Okay.
Just the flashlight person.
Oh wow. Oh wow, there's their number. Their call sign, 920 Op Center. Let me go like this.
Tell me when to.
Okay, go ahead, flip it. Okay, we gotta see. Oh my God.
Yeah, they got
The whole thing. This is the main.
I told you. These were the vehicles.
Yeah,
These were the vehicles that were here for the shooting. Too many protesters came up. They couldn't move their vehicles. They fled on foot. These were the officers involved. They left all of this behind. This is where they take the transport of their immigration targets. They're calling people targets now.
They're calling them targets?
This is transport of
yeah, I see it
immigration
at the top.
targets.
I see it
This
at
is
the
where
top.
they take them.
Screenshot everything, chat. Screenshot this. You gotta screenshot it. All right, you can go ahead, flip.
This is maps to where.
Another FEFO moment. You F around, you find out every single time. Watch.
Nice.
Sensational.
Telling me this the reality for a man? That's it, bro.
And I'm really sorry that it's snowing again, but I'm also very excited because it means I get to once again tour your great state via the live stream cameras on your snowplows that have very funny names. Starting in the Upper Peninsula with King of the North and Blizzard T Snowplow, full government name. I've never been to the Upper Peninsula, but it sounds really, really intense in the winter. I don't think I would survive. I hope you guys get hazard pay. Frost responder. Sir, do you need a frost responder?
God never told you to follow your heart. He said the heart.
Agree that a school may have separate teams for a category of students classified as boys and a category of students classified as girls.
Yes, Your Honor.
If it does that, then is it not necessary for there to be, for equal protection purposes, if that is challenged under the Equal Protection Clause, an understanding of what it means to be a boy or a girl, or a man or a woman?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that definition? For equal protection purposes, what does it mean to be a boy or a girl, or a man or a woman?
Sorry, I misunderstood your question. I think that the underlying enactment, whatever it was, the policy, the law, we'd have to have an understanding of how the state or the government was just understanding that term to figure out whether or not someone was excluded. We do not have a definition for the court, and we don't take issue with we're not disputing the definition here. What we're saying is that the way it applies in practice is to exclude first-sex males categorically from women.
You understand what just happened? The lawyer for the trans person, the biological male who wants to play in women's sports, she can't define male and female. She can't define boy and girl. So then what the F are we even talking about? We're talking about people being excluded based on gender, and you can't define the gender categories? What the F are we talking about? It's insane.
Elves off duty for the day. Santa's got the tools in hand. Wants to make it home to play. Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the way as he's counting every load. Carousels working on the double.
And I give up the rest to touch you, 'cause I know that you'd feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't want to go home right now.
Dating for women is like shopping. What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
We feel like they're runner-ups and contestants.
If women have an abundance of choices, would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
No.
So if women are the choosers, how are men the leaders?
Good question.
How can men lead if it's by women's terms?
I have no clue.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman's discretion?
No.
So then why do we say that men are leaders when women are in control?
We want you guys to lead while we're still in control.
Thank you for being honest. What are your So the way we solve anti-Semitism is pretty goddamn simple, and I'm really besides myself that we don't push for this with all the major Jewish organizations. When someone commits a crime, stop sending them on El Al flights. That will make them more anti-Semitic, I guarantee it. Send their ass to jail. It's not complicated.
The Holocaust never happened. Are you gonna send me to jail, Shabbos? Should I go to jail now?
So the way we solve anti-Semitism is pretty goddamn simple, and I'm really beside.
I am a Mexican American, and I am at risk for ICE stopping me, to question me, or detain me. And I swear to God, if ICE ever stops me, I am going to comply with every lawful order they make. I'll deal with it in court after if I have.
If I can make one video go viral, I hope it's this one, because our server at Eden Park is probably in her 70s. I'm here with my son, and she can hardly walk. And we heard her to the table next to us. They asked if she was still working. She only makes $910 a month on Social Security, and she has to still work because her bills exceed $910 a month. Any proceeds I get from this video and the TikTok Creator Rewards program, I will come back and give to her. I have $40 in my purse, so that's what I'm going to leave her for a tip.
Get a lot of views off this.
Why?
Because she's like barely has any numbers.
And what? She can hardly.
What Jacob Fry is doing is he's fomenting a second civil war, and we can see what happens when people behave this way. They are fostering a foreign invasion. All ICE is doing is trying to get people who are in this country illegally. And the fact of the matter is the vast majority that they're picking up are the scum of the earth. And for Democrat politicians to take the sides of foreigners over Americans is treason. Jacob Fry should be arrested for what he is doing because he is encouraging people to behave this way. And now there are two people who have been shot justifiably because of the rhetoric of Democrats. They need to be held accountable. Yeah, well, look, what Jacob Fry is doing is he's fomenting a second civil war, and we can see what happens when people...
Have you ever wondered what the vest is made of whenever you go to the doctor and they take an x-ray of you? It's made of lead. So lead is extremely dense. So even x-rays don't have the ability to penetrate the material. So this really...
Last day of the rest of my life, I wish you would've known, cause I didn't kiss my mama goodbye. I didn't tell her that I loved her, how much I cared. I think my pops water talks and all the wisdom he shared. Unaware, I just did what I always do. Every day the same routine before I skate off to school. But who knows that this day wasn't like the rest. Instead of taking the test, I took two to the chest.
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps. The what? What? And the what? You know, the bleeps.
Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. The program distributes nearly $70 million in benefits each month in Minnesota alone. Well, 5 Investigates has uncovered audits that show the state did not...
There was a major victory at the United States Supreme Court in a case involving an Illinois congressman who wanted to challenge Illinois' practices of allowing mail-in ballots to be counted for 2 weeks after Election Day. And
Hi. Where's my chips? They're on your plate. No, they're not. Well, there they are. The bigger, fuller, bouncier, double-breasted burger from Nanda.
Excuse me, how you guys doing?
Good.
Wait, my name is Dr. Paul, and I give people free therapy sessions. It is very much so real. But would you guys perhaps like a free therapy session?
That ain't real. Huh?
Who is saying that in the background?
Are you real?
I'm very yes, I'm real.
Paul? Is that you?
Yes.
Who's Paul? He's the guy. What? He's the guy. Are you real? Go ahead, say what you gotta say. Let me hear it.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give people in the black community free therapy sessions, as they have a lot of anger management and no father trauma. So I'm trying to help them.
How can we do that? How can we help, dude?
So on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel not having a father, Tyrone? 10 being you're very angry, 1 being you're gonna go ahead and just head down to Popeyes about it.
I'm about to crash out about it.
You're about to crash out about it? Oh, so what is that number? 7?
Probably like an 8.
Like an 8. Okay, so like an 8, we're gonna crash out about it, and we're gonna steal some new Timberland boots. About it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And how many white girls do you want to rape on your way stealing the Timberland boots? 0. Okay, so we're gonna go with 100 because you are a filthy nigger. You are a filthy nigger, are you not?
I certainly am.
Yes, you are. Okay. So 100 white girls want to rape. Need Popeye's fried chicken. Got it. Okay. So my prescription for you is very simple. We're just gonna hit you up with a couple of pieces of the drumstick. You know what I?
Saint Nick with a wrench in hand, fixing up his big old ride. Semi-truck, not sleigh this year, needs to make it home by night. Carols playing on the radio, snowflakes fall within the light. Santa breathing heavy sighs,
Whisper
knows he's
words
got
of
to
wisdom.
make it
Let
right.
it be.
Santa's working on the double. He's sweating in the world. There will be an answer. Let it be.
Still a chance, someday we'll see. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it
Christmas lights upon the dash, guiding him through frosty roads. Truck is roaring down the
that
way.
reporters, investigative reporters, cannot deceive the subjects they investigate when delivering the truth to their audience. The jury effectively ruled today that journalists have a fiduciary duty to the subjects they investigate. But it is a fundamental freedom of the press, that the press be free. And today's verdict tramples on that right by imposing upon journalists duties to their subjects which simply do not exist and cannot exist if investigative journalism is to continue in the United States of America. This case is not about whether you like Project Veritas action or methods. Today we mourn the loss of an important journalistic independence. The idea that journalists should be free to investigate whom they deem appropriate in the legal manner in which
Carl Stoner, a 67-year-old retiree who was just sentenced to 4 years in prison after defending himself from a 15-time career criminal here in New York City. Now, if you're not familiar with the story of Charles,